I'm going to call the Council-in-Committee meeting to order. And we just have one delegation. We're running a little bit late, but it's Patrick Klassen, who's the Parks Planner from the City of Surrey, and he's going to talk about the master plan for the new Bowes Forest Park in West Cloverdale. So welcome, Patrick.
Okay, is this working? Okay, Madam Mayor, members of Council, it's my pleasure to be here tonight. I'm going to give you a presentation and an update on the planning and design of the Bowes Forest Park, which is a new community-level park in Cloverdale. I should also note that this presentation is supplementary to a corporate report that will follow in regular Council. The Bowes Forest Park is located in western Cloverdale. The site is located south of 64th Avenue, adjacent to the Agricultural Land Reserve. The site is the forested portion of the former Bowes Farm, and it is approximately 7.5 hectares or 18.3 acres. The Bowes Farm is a noted landmark in the Cloverdale community. It was established in the late 1800s, early 20th century by Henry Bowes, who was a Surrey pioneer. The Bowes family home, which is in the photo at the top of this slide, was built in the early 20th century, and it has been retained as an amenity building within the Meadow Ridge development. The forested portion of our park was also used a lot by the community in the 20th century. Girl Guides from Metro Vancouver used to use the forest for nature outings and orienteering. Despite its use, the forest is very much unchanged from its earlier times. This photo was taken in 1961, and the park site is highlighted in red. And this photo was taken last year. So you can see that most of the forest is in its original condition. Before we started this project, we commissioned an environmental assessment and survey of the park site, and we found that the majority of the site was a mature forest with trees of 80 years or older, which is quite uncommon for Metro Vancouver and the Lower Mainland. We found there was a variety of wildlife species, including 7 mammals and 21 birds that called the park as their home, and that it was home to a unique swamp environment, which again is a very uncommon ecosystem in the Lower Mainland. This project was initiated in April of 2014. It began with a comprehensive community engagement process, which I'll talk to shortly here. Currently, we're in the approvals stage, and pending approval from Council, they will move forward into detailed design immediately, and then we would anticipate construction initiating in the summer of this year. We developed a comprehensive public consultation strategy for the planning and design of this park. It was a two-phase strategy. The first phase was aimed at gathering ideas from the community, and the second phase was aimed at developing the concept for the park. We had a public open house in May, and we conducted 2 City Speaks surveys to the City Speaks panel and as a general open survey. We had strong participation with over 50 attendees of the open house and over 120 survey respondents. And what we found was that the majority of people preferred to retain the site as a natural area and the character of the forest. Most people recognize the Bowes Farm and the history that it has in the city. The top 5 amenities that we heard from the public were pathways and forest trails, natural enhancement, viewpoints, nature play and a nature playground, and interpretive signage. A parking lot was also a popular amenity, supported in part by an indication from the survey respondents that they would drive to the park site. In addition to asking residents about their preferred amenities for the park, we surveyed them on their preferred park name. There was wide support to retain the name Bowes in the park name, and the final name that was selected was the Bowes Forest Park. So with the results of the first phase of public consultation, we developed 2 park concept options. This is the first of those 2 park concept options. Park concept A, this one, draws from the history of the Bowes family farm. The concept centers around the Bowes Walk, which is the central spine through the park. Along the Bowes Walk, the plan featured a number of picnicking areas and community gathering areas, and it led to what we call the Homestead Farm, which was a community garden, display garden, and an orchard. A parking lot is located in this plan at the entrance to the park, from which a large gravel pathway leads west to a viewpoint over the Serpentine lowlands. Some smaller, low-impact nature trails weave from that main trail in through the forest to provide exploration opportunities into the forest. The second park concept option, option B, emphasizes environmental stewardship and education. This park concept option features more trails through the forest with boardwalks and viewpoints through the swamp area at the northwest of the park. Picnicking areas are featured along the main central spine with a nature playground at the southeast of the park in place of the Homestead Farm. This park concept option also has a small parking lot and again that east-west pathway leading to a viewpoint over the Serpentine lowlands. Both concept options have a multi-use pathway along the western portion of the park, and this is an extension of the Hook Greenway, which is a multi-use pathway that circumnavigates, I guess that's the right word, around West Cliverdale. So those 2 park concept options were presented during the second phase of public consultation. And the aim there was to get feedback from the public to see if we were in the right direction and also to refine those 2 concepts into a single preferred concept plan. Again, participation was high. We had another open house and another 2 City Speaks surveys. And what we heard again was that there was strong support for nature trails, boardwalks, viewpoints, with a preference to the more natural concept, which was the park concept option B. Residents still, however, had a strong connection to the Bowes family history and wanted to see that carried through into the final concept plan.
A little bit, if you can, for us. Thank you.
You got it. This is the final preferred concept plan here.
Thank you.
And it draws a lot from the 2 preferred, the concept options. What you can see is it focuses on the retention of the forest as the natural feature of the park. We have boardwalks and stream and wetland restoration at the northwest of the park with a nature play area at the southwest corner of the park. There is plans for a small parking lot at the southeast corner of the park, and this is to supplement 40 on-street parking spaces along the adjacent roads. I should mention as well that the plans for the parking lot would include a gate to address resident concerns for potential loitering and after-hours use of the parking lot. So upon Council approval of this plan, our next steps would be for detailed design, which we would initiate immediately, with construction beginning later on in the summer of 2015. That concludes my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much. It looks very nice. Are there any questions from Council? Councillor Starczyk?
First off, it's a great presentation, and I really love what's there. I'm just one of the older people around that's been around there and seen how it looks, and I really look forward to it. My question that I have, though, is regarding the parking, and there was some specific talk about, maybe doing it later, and it kind of, like, are we really thinking, far enough ahead? Because if there's a person with a disability of some sort, do we want them parking way down the street to get access to what's there? I don't know whether or not that came up and that discussion came forward, because you do have a lot of boardwalk area that's down there that'll make it easy access for those people with disabilities.
Yeah, there was mixed reviews during the public consultation process. Some people were very much in favor of a parking lot for those reasons, and some of the adjacent residents were concerned about some of the impacts that a parking lot might have. So in moving forward, our intentions are to construct the small parking lot with measures to address those resident concerns by implementing a gate, monitoring the parking lot, and also designing it so that it limits informal use and loitering.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And we're going to construct it now.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation, Patrick, and I know the corporate report's coming through, so can I call for an adjournment? Oh, Councillor Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And very quickly, I just wanted to remind Council and staff of what a collaborative job it was to get to this point. And I think we'll all remember a couple of years ago when the development to the immediate northeast of this park location came. We sent that back to staff. Staff worked very closely with the developer to protect more of the trees and create a larger contiguous park area. So, I mean, that was just a win-win for everyone. And so just congratulations to staff on being able to bring this forward now. Thank you.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.